torch though on the W. Still a very formidable duelist.
Absolutely, and on the side of 100 Thieves, I mean, we look back, Taliyah Poppy defined so many metas, especially after the little mini Taliyah rework, and it has been hit multiple times over the patches, but still incredibly oppressive, the ability to knock people back through the unraveled earth, to find the CC, to stop anyone from getting on top of the Taliyah as we get later into the game, like the Camille, is going to be massive for the side of 100 Thieves.
The more things change, the more they stay the same, really, isn't it? The meta world seems like things like the Poppy and such are working. There's the Varus ban targeting bot lane, Lucian taken away from Gen.G. What I've got my eyes on now are things like the Jinx that we could see coming out. We could see Aphelios coming out. Sivir is another one that is definitely blindable here. And Kai'Sa stands out to me when it comes to LPL teams. Hope, for example, having a fantastic game on that champion.
Yeah, I think that if they were going to do the Kai'Sa side, it'd probably be better with 100 Thieves comp at the moment.
Yeah.
Gen.G, you know, with the Azir, your backline is so safe. See if they get something a little bit more range, less reliable on the dives. Nautilus being banned out, man, that's definitely one of the big partners for those aggressive bottom lane.
I wonder if the Nautilus ban is because they want Renata here on 4, and then they'll pick AD carry on 5. So 100 Thieves decide to take away. And Renat with a lot of the meta AD carries, but they're slowly chipping away. Nila is going to be the ban.
Interesting.
Ooh, the engage support.
What are the options going to be here? Aphelios, obviously.
Yeah.
Ton of flexibility, hyper scaling, can do so much for composition.
Yeah, those two carries, classic combo. Mis Fortune getting hovered again already. This time around should be a little bit easier to play if they do decide to lock it in and then hit it up with a Mumu or Rel.
Yeah, will have to be a MF, a Mumu or something along those lines. Senatam could work as well, but do you lack damage then is the question. And they're going to go for the MF instead. Yeah,
right.
It has to be something with setup. FBI really needs something with setup. His initial ults were good against Flying Oyster, but they really struggled to find windows in teamfights. But the Leona will help with that setup. The Taliyah will
Is it Thresh then to answer a little bit of safety there for the
Thresh,
Aphelios?
Yeah. Braum could also work pretty well here. I think Thresh Braum are the two times I look at. Rakan would work, but it's very hard into Leona and Taliyah and Poppy. It would be horrible for teamfights. So that one's kind of ruled out. Renata is another champ that could work well with Aphelios. I think Lehends has plenty of options. He's played so many supports in the LCK, but there's the Renata. I think taking away the Nautilus makes Renata's lane phase a little bit easier. I was surprised they didn't pick it on 4, but it makes sense because I think then 100 Thieves will take away Aphelios.
Yeah, look at how much peel they've drafted here. You know, Azir ultimate, Renata ultimate, trying to keep them safe. Pillars from Trundle trying to help peel. But 100 Thieves, they're going to be looking for those big ultis. And a lot, I think, is going to hinge on this Taliyah pick. They willingly, knowingly gave over the Azir to Chovy and insta-lock this Taliyah answer. We'll see if Abba can actually make use of some of the early Taliyah walls. Those things can be game-changing when roaming.
And they valued the Aatrox first pick, and Doran's just gone for the Camille. We haven't seen Doran's Camille in summer yet in the LCK at all. It's mostly been Gnar and GP, really. That's the meta for him. So we'll have to see how he does on this champion. We'll struggle a little bit in the early game, and against Poppy Taliyah, I feel like 100 Thieves might focus on that top side. I think they have options in bots, certainly. Leona is a really good setup, but getting that side laner ahead could be crucial.
And you want to get value out of that investment of the first pick. You gave up Chovy's Azir to get Ssumday on this Aatrox. You want to see return on that investment. Crucial that he's able to find advantage. He's able to push this champion to its limits because we know how strong it is. It's probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest champion on the patch. Would have been undisputed till Maokai reared his giant wooden head in the Otawamne game. So need to see that from the top side of 100 Thieves. Love that call out, Cajal. What is the option going to be on the opposite side? Renata, Aphelios, double ranged bot lane. A lot of room to play aggressive here.
Yeah, I also really like the Renata always into the Mis Fortune because even though the ult is slow moving, it travels a long distance, so you can try and make a reposition there, make sure you don't get those giant full channel ultimates off.
It's going to be an excited one. 200 Thieves fans in the crowd will be cheering for their team. Saw a couple Gen.G signs as well. Both these teams looking for their first win. Damn, that's a big horse. Dang.
Is that 2 horses?
I don't know, that was massive though.
That's a big horse. I've never seen that skin. All right, there you go. Riding into lane valiantly. Close, of course, tracking in the early game for the jungle is going to be big. Poppy can make these massive plays, has the phase rush. We know what Poppy can do in the early game. And Peanut, as a player, we also know how creative he likes to be, always looking for these avenues, these angles into lanes that people may not expect.
Yeah, he has played so well, controlling for his lanes, getting them everything that they've needed. A huge part of Gen.G's success this year. That's why it was kind of shocking in the opening game there for Gen.G to drop it to RNG. It had to play their way through play-ins. So
Senna.
you know they're mad. You know they're looking to get right back on top. They're not used to losing.
Yeah, Ruler Senna only had about 50 seconds at 20 minutes.
Well,
Hang on a second.
they
Fake
didn't fight
check.
the rush control. Here we go. A little bit extra damage now traded down. Lehends firing back, but overall, positive early trade. You see Ruler continuing to step forward, knowing that if they extend the trade, it will get better for Gen.G, but for now, small victory on the side of 100 Thieves in the early laning phase.
Yeah, one of the hard things with Renata is the giant shield from the loyalty program, how tanky she is for a ranged champion, for an enchanter. And it's one of the reasons why they had to give that little nerf to her HP and try and whittle down on that, and yet she's still so prevalent in bottom lane.
Those are starting on the Raptors there. Solo is going to go Raptors to red. I wonder if he's going to go towards that top side as we expect, or go for Crux and then try to match Peanuts, who's probably going to go...
No! Misses all 3 of the first CS!
Stings a little bit for the Aatrox.
Definitely.
I'm in pain.
That's a rough one, you know, kind of that's one you'd prefer to have in your solo queue games, not on stage, but it is just a couple CS. We'll get his first CS of the game right now. Gen.G, after that initial level 1 trade, going in favor of 100 Thieves, pushing out the lane as expected. That's the range advantage. And really curious to see what Abbeddage can do up against Chovy, but maybe we're looking at the wrong lane, because that level 2 on the top side, Ssumday now fighting back against Doran. Doran has the overcommitted, gets the grass proc, but Ssumday already procced the Conqueror. Not going to have enough time to get the Dark Blade back up.
Yeah, Conqueror wins those extended fights, and I don't think Doran has Q. I think he has E and W, so going a little bit deep there on the trade. Has the Doran's Blade too, so won't have that much sustain. Still has the potion though, but I think Ssumday has now gained control over this lane. Can look for QE pokes, but the Aatrox Q cooldown is so long, so he needs a couple more points in it. Peanut finishes his blue, heading towards this bot side.
Oh, and it looks like Closer's going to match as well. Closer did a full red side clear on the Poppy, but comes down to try and match.
This really hurts the 100 Thieves jungler. He's covering a dive here that's not actually going to happen, but he has to make sure and be sure that nothing can come of it. It's going to drop a ward now, run all the way back to his top camps. Peanut should go to his wolves, and we'll be a little bit ahead on the clear.
Yeah, huge timing investment there to try and avoid possible disaster of the dive timing. Does mean, though, Ssumday up on top. Isolated here in the 1v1.
Of course, you can see just continuing to step forward. As long as he had that Q cooldown up and available, it's so difficult for Doran to trade back, especially if Doran burning through a lot of his mana just to stay in the lane as Abbeddage and Chovy trade blows here.
Stings a bit that Azir damage doesn't have good combo there from Abbeddage, but Taliyah base damage on our Q is so low. Again, a champion that needs level 9, similar to the Aatrox, to dish out that damage. That ward there will spot out Peanut if he decides to look for the gank, but the wave's pushing into Gen.G right now, so 100 Thieves will have to step up.
And this is a lot. This is a lot because Huhi, with his sweeper, cleared out the previous
The timing is flawless. He marks him before he shifts the guns. It's beautiful Aphelios play coming from Ruler, but will not be able to get any further follow-up.
Yeah, that call down for Peanut, because they cleared out the previous ward, maybe thinking that there was going to be a Poppy coming through, but with the chunk down, FBI saves his flash, but has to recall anyway. He's so low, and this is going to be costly.
Gonna have to give up this wave here. I wonder if Closer's gonna run up top here and try to look for top dives. He was hovering around there, but decided to back away, and Huhi's going to be catching this wave in terms of experience. Maybe get a little bit of creeps, but now FBI is almost, I mean, he's half the CS of Ruler.
Yeah, it is rough down there for the 100 Thieves bottom lane, getting completely blasted.
I mean, you're looking at a coal buy on the back. He has a controller, but you're looking at a pickaxe on the opposite side. Things just get harder on the bottom side of the map. Going to be a difficult lane phase. It already has been difficult for 100 Thieves. They have to hold on as long as they can, however.
Yeah, Strut gets him back a little bit quicker, but still lost so many CS off that push. Dragon gonna pop up as well, so should be nice for Gen.G to play off that bottom advantage that they already have for Ruler. With his extra pickaxe damage, they've got already plenty of vision as well.
Wall dive coming in. Chains brings it back. That's a clean combo from Ssumday.
Yeah, every time the camera goes towards top, Ssumday seems to be winning on these trades, and that's the power of the Aatrox. Now with 3 points in Q, he can trade a lot quicker into the Camille. We'll have to be careful as the waves come into him. It's when Camille gets Sunder and things like the Tiamat that she can start to fight back. Doesn't have the Ignite either, so kill pressure very minimal in this lane for the Camille.
Support roam timing for Huhi coming out here with Abed, but should be unperturbed here for Chovy. Just going to help him push out the lane.
Abbeddage is not playing with TP, Chovy is, so that always helps Abbeddage, whether he can decide now to take a base to keep up with the Azir, or if he wants to roam around the map. Looks like Dragon is on the cards here for 100 Thieves. That's why Abbeddage stopped his recall, or maybe Peanuts on the cards. If Abbeddage commits here with the ults, they're fishing for something. They will spot out the jungler of Gen.G, and no plays to be made.
Yeah, and I think even the objective of getting all the wards out of the river itself is so big for the Taliyah team. Level 6 now for Abba. Couldn't make those side run plays.
Doran does not have a lot of mana while he's hookshot wall diving out to safety, because Ssumday is looking for the solo. Doran has the ultimate, he goes back though, waiting on it. The Infernal Chain's going down. Doran surely set to fall. No, not quite enough time left on the Darkened Blade.
Doran really wanted that cannon minion. He manages to get it and uses the ult just in case Ssumday decides to use the Q flash.
There's still gonna be a pretty big punishment because there's no teleport for Doran, so he's gonna have to walk his way back, but Gen.G are gonna jump right on this dragon timing off of their winning bottom lane there. Lehends and Ruler, once again, push in the 100 Thieves bottom lane, slip over for the objective, and we'll pick it up without a fight.
Both teams playing toward their relative strong side of the map. Ssumday doing so much in the individual 1v1 to build advantages, but the positive early trades, the pressure Peanuts putting down on the bottom side, getting the dragon in favor of Gen.G big as we move later into the game. Have to keep an eye on what else they can do as Closer now coming closer into the mid lane, looking for potentially an angle here.
Maybe wants to punish topside. Doran still has that flash, and it's Doran the one opting into these trades. We saw level 2 on the left-hand side of the screen as he dashed onto Ssumday, took a really bad trade, eventually had to TP back because of jungle hovering topside, and then again, another bad trade. Down 10 CS right now, but the bot lane for Gen.G is winning. They have that dragon. The question is, what do they do around this Herald that spawns soon? Do they swap their bot lane up towards that topside?
Exactly. You're going to look ahead to the future here towards the 8 minutes on that spawn. It's so easy when you have bottom pressure like this to get the push out, move first, guarantee the objective. Then really it's about how much can you cover on the other side too. Get back before 100 Thieves can even get, a turret plate in answer for it.
Looks like Ruler's actually moving his way back down towards the bottom side despite taking that base. So maybe Gen.G unsure whether they want to contest this. They do have the top push from Doran. Chovy's just coming out of base as well. And they will be able to establish a little bit of vision before it spawns.
And I think one of the things to consider is that Gen.G may just want to continue to push their bot side advantage. And Aphelios, specifically because he has the Chokron, because he has the white gun, if 100 Thieves do move up to contest that objective, he will shred through the tower.
Mis Fortune with the strut can make the quick move, but early ward from Doran. Gonna see if there's any sort of...
Lehends FBI. Handshake goes just a little bit wide. No, there it is. Lehends now coming out. Ruler locked up, but he cleanses immediately. Red-white. Huhi still trying to fight. Not concerned. FBI only level 5. Really needs to take over to 6. How close is he? Can he get the ultimate? Will not come through.
I wonder if FBI just played with a little bit more confidence there. They could have gotten more out of the Gen.G bot lane. The flash forwards from Lehends could have been punished a little bit harder. Huhi was just going in on that fight. FBI was unsure on how to step forwards, but 100 Thieves on the Herald now.
Yeah, they used that to start this one up. It's getting really low. Poppy ultimate does not find Chovy though. Poppy eyeball 28.
Doran still walking forward, gonna try to lock up the Poppy, leaping out of the unraveled earth. Still standing for now, stopping it, and he makes it out! They get the objective, they stop the counterplay on the bottom side. Ruler pushing and trying to get plates back, but 100 Thieves getting a huge advantage.
Closer with the escape. Ooh, huge value on that steadfast presence. Pops the W, interrupts the dashes, then flashes away with the trumpet emote. And the 100 Thieves steal away this Herald before the Gen.G trap can collapse.
Peanut was looking for something there on the bot side. Maybe he could take away a couple camps while Closer's coming out of base. He'll only get a crab, then he'll hand off the blue buff over to Chovy. There's a pink ward right next to Chovy. I wonder if he'll spot it, because that's giving a lot of information onto Gen.G's rotations from mid to bot. FBI still down around 25 creeps right now. Gen.G will want to look to stop this Herald. The question is, where will 100 Thieves put it? I think bot lane would be the biggest value, but top side has the biggest dive pressure, and Ssumday's already got himself a plate of his own. Trade pretty hard onto Doran here.
Oh. So much poke damage. The range of that ability is so annoying as a melee champion. Doran forced to just continue to trade to try to get that grass proc back. Gen.G committing a lot of resources on the bottom side, but 100 Thieves ready for the fight. Taliyah behind on the roam, but she has the ult. She can match the pace of Chovy if she wants to.
Yeah, I think that shot calling here for 100 Thieves is look for Ruler. No summoner spell.
Damage follow up. Oh, the ulti. Taking it out. First blood now coming through. Who can be in trouble? Does still have the flash from earlier. He's going to hold on to a walk away.
Gen.G beat them to the punch. Really nice movement there. That ultimate from Lehends. Immediately, they take down FBI, and now the bottom lane is going to get even bigger with the gap.
Oh, stopped his
Ssumday forcing the flash.
Yeah, every single time the camera goes up here, Ssumday is getting the better hand of Doran. FBI there, his jungle supports were hovering behind him. Maybe that gave him the confidence to step up, but Gen.G were waiting, lying in wait. Look how far separated he is from Closer here. Just steps up with the creeps, and then the Renat ult from River just comes in, and despite having the cleanse, chooses not to use it.
Yeah, there's nowhere for him to go. He knew he was dead there. Pillar on one side, Renat ultimate cutting off as well. Nice snipe from Ruler to start it out.
Huhi just gonna go top now. No. Camille E up. does have the ult, has the ignite, has the flash, doesn't want to go back bot, wants to pressure this top side. He realizes Ssumday's winning this lane quite hard, almost a 20 CS lead right now. Maybe he can capitalize on it. Closer's on his way up as well. If they can get this kill and a Herald down, this could be a full tower for 100 Thieves. Massive play on the cards here. Let's see if they can execute it.
Level 9, Ssumday. Q cooldown gonna be so low. Closer, can he get him knocked back to the wall? Doran still standing for now. Gonna try to hookshot wall dive back onto safety. Turn the play. Huhi standing, looking to tank the tower up. Trying to burn him down. There is no way out. There is no escape. Peanut hitting a target, but not the one tanking the tower.
Chovy on the way, but he will decide to go back towards mid. FPI was matching, so Gen.G will look for this bot tier 1. They're gonna pop the Herald and give all the plays over to Ssumday because I think 100 Thieves realize their bot tower is gonna get absolutely shredded right now, and they can't afford to give that up without getting a consolation prize in this top tier 1. They'll get this one first.
You're always faced with a decision. Try and stem the bleeding on the losing half of the map, or just play everything to the top side where you're winning hard, and they go to Ssumday. They go to the winning lane. They strike first, finally getting a use out of this Taliyah ultimate. Abba comes in first on the roam. Nicely executed there. Rift Herald does go down before getting the charge. But it's also going to mean you probably are sacrificing setup for this dragon. Look at all the wards for Gen.G, super deep into their jungle as well. Abba gets back onto the bottom side to try and pick up the minions before Gen.G are able to answer with the towers. But again, the sacrifice is the dragon.
And good to see that lane flexibility. Abba moving down to the bot lane quickly to stop anything else going in the favor of Gen.G. For second dragon, going to be more and more concerning the later we get into the game. An Ocean, a Cloud, we'll see what the Rift is going to be now. Mountain, not the biggest, but certainly is going to help.
And here's a look at it. Closer, Hex flashes over, goes straight for Doran, tackles him towards the wall, saves on the W for himself. Abba rides his own wall in, and it's an easy execution under the tower. Abba also taking the tower aggro, so there's no danger for those melees to get caught under the tower with Trundle next.
And that man on your screen right there, Ssumday. A lot of 100 Thieves fans will be believing in him right now because he's so incredibly strong. Made his debut in the LCS in 2017, joined 100 Thieves in 2018. Now in his 4th year, looking to put his team on his back. A lot of resources invested into him. Gave up a lot of bots. Jet Ruler's been put ahead by Peanut, focusing on this bot side of the map, but it's Ssumday that's got the better hand of Doran in this lane, facing on his Mythic already. We'll be able to pressure this Camille, move from top to mid, and that's the pressure point for 100 Thieves.
And a lot of people this year have even talked about this being the best year of the LCS for Ssumday. Absolutely dominated for them. There's even a contention for MVP status for them. Had a lot of split push victories. They put so much faith into him. The Aatrox, first pick. Meanwhile, we're going to have a swap, though. Everybody else going to the other side of the map as they leave him up in a blue quadrant.
The small issue that the 100 Thieves have, though, is what can Ssumday get done with this top push? There's not really much to do because Chovy's bot, their bot lane's mid, and Peanut scouting on this top side of the map, so he can push in waves, take in jungle camps, but there's nothing they can really force with his champion. Maybe they want to put him on the bot side so he can look to start taking towers. Could get caught out here. Needs to be a bit careful.
Walking away now, will be fine in the exchange, but Gen.G doing what they can to mitigate his impact thus far. The other champion, the one that was given up so that Ssumday could have this Aatrox, is Chovy on this Azir, but it's been a relatively quiet game.
Yep.
Postured like he was going to roam to bottom lane, ultimately did not end up doing so. So far, has just been farming up quietly, building a little bit of a CS lead, but not a lot else yet.
Yeah, and we just saw that kind of pay off for Chovy. He did not extend at all. 100 Thieves made a 3-person swipe trying to overload on bomb side where the Azir is. Maybe you catch him, burn a summoner spell or anything. If they could even get that flash, it would have been a big play. But Chovy does not expose himself at all to the play. So Huhi and Closer both get their recalls off. They swap back to the top side of the map now with secondary Rift Herald here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a trade-off right now. Chovy will hit this mid tier 1, this bot tier 1, sorry, and he will get it. 100 Thieves are going to get a Herald for it on the cross map. They're putting all their resources topside, all their vision topside for this objective and for Ssumday to keep this push. And they will be rewarded. Ssumday will basically now swap himself down towards that bot side as expected. We'll have the TP in case a fight breaks out on the top side of the map. And he should be fine under tower. I don't think Gen.G can look for a dive. It'll be a tower for Herald trade.
It would be very big if they can use this Herald to break the mid lane tower, stopping Chovy from just sitting comfortably in the mid lane, stopping Ruler from just farming in that mid lane, maybe use the semi-global presence that Abbeddage can bring to bear a little bit more effectively. See where they do ultimately end up using that Herald is, for now, just trading objectives across the map.
I think this is a pretty stable early game for 100 Thieves. You know, they're sitting at a small lead, doesn't amount to much. I think the biggest issue they have, of course, is Ruler, and FBI needs to find his Mythic soon.
Root now coming out, Cleanse to follow. Lehends coming in over the wall, flash out to safety. FBI using both sums to survive. Ult now to clear the wave. Heads up play will stop them from taking the tower.
Yes, the biggest point of power for Gen.G. Ruler, Ruler, Ruler. On his Gale Force spike, he's got his mythic advantage. Immediately goes in with the Gale Force into ultimate, forces flash and cleanse and everything off of FBI. He uses the ult to try and wave clear afterwards. FBI does survive, but Ruler's setting himself up for a big difference in carry potential in the team fights because he'll have the Gale Force back online, plus still have his flash for it. So this Aphelios will be very dangerous. Another BF sword picked up for him in inventory as well.
What I would love to see from 100 Thieves here is just having Abbeddage push out top base and then look for ults on bot when Chovy catches away with Ssumday behind him, overload that bot lane a bit, get the pressure in there, and then start getting into this river because with 1 minute on the Dragon, they need some control. Looks like they'll go through mid at the moment. There's a TP behind in their jungle. They're going to get sandwiched here into Doran. Let's see if they can find the engage.
Abbeddage all on his lonesome. That pillar doing so much work, but they don't have the follow-up damage quite yet. FBI coming over the wall. Doran on the backside, immediately going to go in. Peanut there as well. It's so hard now for them to do anything. Gen.G looking for the collapse. Ssumday finally coming into the fight. Closer knocking at least one back. That's the hostile takeover. Ssumday forced to run away. Gen.G taking control, forcing their way into the enemy jungle.
This is the issue of going through mid. You're going head first into Ruler, and he can engage with the Gravitum TP behind from Doran. They get the initial kill onto FBI, and they get Abbeddage's summoner spells. They own this bot side jungle now.
And you could tell, 100 Thieves didn't have anybody looking at that teleport because Ssumday kind of half moved back towards bottom lane. They did not know Doran was coming until it was too late, right behind that red buff. And it's just more summoner spells off of 100 Thieves carries. They previously burned FBIs, now they burn the Taliyahs as well as Abba gets pincered here.
Yeah, Ssumday, you just talked about it there. On the mini map, he ran back towards bot, and as he arrives to the fight, there's a hostile takeover right next to him, so he can't afford to step into it, so he decides to run away. Knock back onto Doran. Does push him out of this fight, but 100 Thieves have to bail out with both carries, one being dead and one being incredibly low.
Okay, Gen.G have chipped away at the summoner spells, but there still is the fight to actually take place. Ward up here through the little banana brush.
Ulti missing. He's hoping to have a little bit of poke damage laid down there. Only 1.5 items, so might not have been that big. Xenoblade also not going to connect. Chovy now fishing. Oh, Abbeddage, it's clean. Maybe they can turn it. It's huge for 100 Thieves. Those are not chasing Chovy out of the fight. 100 Thieves looking to collapse. Ssumday, eyes on Peanut, staying focused on the objective ahead of them. Is this enough for 100 Thieves to take the Dragon?
Great stopwatch there by Abbeddage. They're in a 4v5 and Doran's been pushed out by Ssumday. I think this will net them the Dragon as Ruler goes up towards that top side, takes the base. They've slowed down the Dragon stacking. That's the first one. Team 500 Thieves. What has Gen.G done here? They're looking for something.
Getting lower and lower. Ruler waiting. Can he make his way into this fight? Chovy still waiting over the wall. Doran now going in. They're looking to collapse. Abbeddage doesn't have the stopwatch anymore. Fight 1 with 100 Thieves. Fight 2. Ssumday. Can he be the difference maker? Posturing. Stepping forward. Looking dark and play. Big damage. Can they get the Dragon? Oh! Peanuts! Taking the steal. Finding the third Drake. Ssumday running for the hills. 100 Thieves. Round 1 went their favor, but round 2, it's all Gen.G.
Oh, Peanut with 57 HP left on the Dragon. He flash chomps it. He takes a bite out of 100 Thieves' hopes.
In a 4v5, they made it a 1-for-1 and they got the objective. I wonder who made that call for Gen.G because Ruler went mid and started recalling. It looked like they were just giving up. I wonder if 100 Thieves started to relax a bit and they kind of got caught off guard saying, hang on a second, they're still fighting this.
I don't know, man. Peanut, he dodges out the Poppy ultimate with the W move speed there, then gets in just in time. So clutch there. Gen.G, they end up still getting the Dragon and finishing off the mid turret in the aftermath. Here's the play for 100 Thieves, though, trying to pick Chovy off.
TP, they need to take the crown off him as quickly as possible. And now going to get pushed back. Chovy can still glide out to safety if he has the mana. Flash, glide out, clean escape. But Peanut on the backside already focused on Abbeddage. Will get knocked back. Another TP coming in. Gen.G really looking to force the issue. The courtesy of the Azir tower. They want to finish the job. They know Abbeddage is so incredibly low. He doesn't have any defensive tools left. Eyes on the prize. Someday maybe he can try to get something back in exchange. They take down Abbeddage. Meanwhile, Peanut set to fall. Peanut still holding on for now. The chomp a little bit extra healing. Doran still standing. Ssumday wants to turn it. It's a fight on 2 fronts. Doran still standing strong. Ssumday getting 1. Now he looks to collapse. Red, white for Ruler, but no mana to follow up. He needs to keep the chakrams up. He needs to keep the stacks. Ssumday versus the world. Can he do it? It's big! It's massive! Is it enough? Peanut still standing. Ruler surely will fall. Closer finding the advantage. Gen.G running.
Ssumday does so much work for the Thieves, and in the end, they clutch it out. They get the kill onto Ruler.
It looked really back and 4th. It all started with 100 Thieves looking for the pick on bot lane onto Chovy. They were the ones who TP'd initially. Gen.G looked like they were the ones who could turn it back because Chovy managed just to escape. But all throughout this entire fight, Chovy has no mana to help the rest of his team. So Gen.G are fighting at a deficit, at a disadvantage. Yes, the bot lane of Gen.G arrived first, but 100 Thieves with Ssumday managed to turn it.
Yeah, really nice teleport here on the Azir tower from Doran to get in. They want to finish off Abba, but Abba actually gets a full combo off before he goes down, and you see Ssumday 1v2ing Chovy and Doran in the back. Meanwhile, Lehends had come around for the flank with Peanut and Ruler, and even though it's red-white guns, they charge right forward, and they get the positioning done.
Lehends no flash, that's their target. FBI gets a really good ult as well as Peanut tries to look for the peel. Ruler is just zoned away here by Huhi, who's threatening an engage onto him, so he's forced out, and by the time he actually arrives to try to do some damage, thinking about it, he gets engaged on, he dies too, so 3 kills over to 100 Thieves just for Abbeddage.
And while Ssumday is the hero of the day, credit to FBI. Against this composition, so hard to find windows of opportunity to get an MF ult off, but 2 fights in a row now. It's been massive in terms of damage output. Gen.G, though, forcing their way down mid.
Ssumday's damage, almost double his carry. He's doing so much work. Abbeddage is looking for something. He's trying to wall someone off there. I think he was looking for Ruler. No flash could stop him from being able to find an exit route. 1 minute 40 seconds on the Dragon, though. That's soul for Gen.G. 100 Thieves need to pick up the pace and find some vision.
Yeah, that for sure is a defensive ultimate there, because Ssumday has no teleport. He could not come over. He is finishing the recall. They need Ssumday if they're going to go for any of these fights.
Closer, waiting. Coming around the corner. Oh, what is the option going to be? You cannot give up this Drake. Feels like 90 seconds until a game-defining fight. Soul could be everything.
FBI has found his way back into this game, sitting at 2 items now. He's matching Ruler's items. A little bit down in XP, but he's level 11. That's 2 points in the ultimate. Will deal a lot of damage, and Closer incredibly strong on this Poppy too. Ssumday will win out on the side lane. Huhi's hovering around looking, but Doran has the flash. Chovy has TP too.
Crucially, Ruler and Chovy both lacking their flashes. Abba has his up and available. This could be big in the fights to come, especially if Ssumday can find his way into the back line.
Look at the map right now. Gen.G have invested so much vision around Baron. They have soul points. They could opt to just give away that positioning around Dragon and opt to get the Baron in exchange. You have such an easier time here in this position, and they've got so many control wards already placed around the Baron.
Abba stepping forward. Good pillar to stop any further engage or follow-up. Gen.G, as you highlighted, Baron always a potential option. Have great champions to shred through that objective.
You're absolutely right. They're leaving 100 Thieves guessing because Gen.G, Chovy's hitting this top tier one. 100 Thieves can't afford to send anyone up there because they want to contest this Dragon. They want all members down here, and they need Ssumday to get the bot push so he can't match Chovy. Chovy's going to take a base. He has the TP. Peanut's hovering on the top side. This mid-wave will be really important. There's the TP from Chovy. Are they looking for a fight here, or are they looking for the Baron to push 100 Thieves out?
Doran TP coming in. Chovy TP to follow back into the mid lane. For now, Aphelios still standing strong. Huhi now going to be in trouble, getting burned down before the fight even starts off. Doran to the backside. Ssumday hasn't even gotten involved yet. Peanut now walking forward. MF ult not going to have a lot of effect. And Chovy looking for the scoop, but he whiffs. Ssumday, maybe this is his opportunity. Maybe he can turn this one back. Big damage coming in from the Aatrox. Doran, as of now, untouched. Ruler in a 1v2, still coming out on top. Gen.G, the last fights were so close, but they are slaughtering 100 Thieves in their own jungle. FBI running for the hills. He gets the blast cone out, but Doran, a hook shot, a wall dive, a flash to follow, and a fancy finish.
Really clean mechanics there for the execution onto FBI, repositioning the Camille hook shot. They're going to get mid-tier 2. Peanuts doing the Dragon next to Chovy. I wonder if they can get the Baron as well. I don't think they have time to, but that was a fight that 100 Thieves decided to take. Huhi was the one who went in first, but they were so split.
Yeah, really good teleport from Gen.G to find them while they're split up. And then the Leona turning in, focusing it down. Once you get that extra person advantage, front line gone, they pick up the Dragon Soul here for Gen.G. Huge power difference. Now, look again, really good timing on this teleport to come in. And with just the pillar, Huhi decides to go in.
Yeah, it goes in next to Closer, but they have no damage to follow up, so they're just in the meat grinder of Ruler. Yes, they knocked Doran away, so it's a 4v4 for a brief moment of time, but now also when the carries arrive, I think Huhi just decided to go in because he had no way out in his mind. He couldn't run down. Doran then connects onto Abbeddage. Ssumday's the only one who can fight back here. He has the ultimate. Let's keep our eyes on Ssumday here because Doran kills Abbeddage. He gets the Q2 here. If he got a Q3 on this E, I wonder how much work could have been done by him, but he ends up falling, and Doran, clean mechanics here to reposition the hook shot.
And the struggle is, as much work as Ssumday did to keep Doran down, Abbeddage, FBI are still going to struggle so much against this Camille when they don't have peel, when Huhi has already burned all of those cooldowns in the fight.
Really hard to get through this Mountain Soul as well. See if they can clear out some of this vision. So this whole game, Gen.G have had these deep wards, looking for these teleports, constantly choosing these fights on 100 Thieves.
Yeah, now setting up around the Baron. With that Mountain Soul being incredibly strong in fights, Abbeddage, no flash, so he's using the spellbook to commit to Ghost and Ignite. Gen.G owning this vision right now. FBI, no flash, makes it so hard for him to step up, and even if he does, the Trundle Pillar can stop his ult. Abbeddage.
Chovy fishing. Now gonna knock him down. Easy pick. Huhi, the rest of the team running. Maybe that's enough for them now to start Baron. All it takes is little moments, little indecisions, little mistakes getting caught out there. FBI has to be careful about walking forward. Ruler has the perfect guns to lock him down.
I think Gen.G are a bit reserved about Baron because of Doran's TP timer and Ssumday having it, so there is a world where it turns into a 4v4. Looks like they're going to go for it though. No vision for 100 Thieves. I'm not sure what the blue orb situation is, but if they have one, they definitely need to use it soon. Doran's now around mid, so he should be able to join his team if they decide to commit to this. Abbeddage will be not responding in time to help. There's a TP from Ssumday. Closer is just running in.
7 seconds on Abbeddage.
Gotta YOLO it.
Can he get the steal?
That's vision.
Closer, can you
this is gonna
take
be
it?
close.
Trying to knock them back. He has to get in the pit if he wants to stop it from releasing. Gen.G instantly though, focusing on the fight, burning down Ssumday, the major carry taken down. FBI's ult is not effective. 100 Thieves now running. If they take down Huhi, they can just start the objective again. Incredible patience from Gen.G, not willing to risk the flip, instead setting their eyes on the prize, taking down 100 Thieves in the fight.
Yeah, jeez. These chases from Gen.G and the discipline. They pull off the Baron at 1800 health. They don't let it go any lower. There's no way a Poppy can get in there and solo it. Nice turn from Gen.G. Closer is alive. The hope is very slim, but...
Doran now chasing,
He's
no
been
ulti.
found.
They've spotted him out. Run, little Poppy, run! He's trying to make it out. The flash out. He's speeding.
Zoom, little Poppy, zoom!
Yeah, he manages to get out. The problem he has there is he has no blue orbs from his team. He doesn't have a ping, so he wouldn't even be able to see the Baron health bar. It would be 1 in a million to just flash over there and steal it at the right time. So Gen.G, you talked about the discipline. 2,000 health on the Baron. I think it was 1,800. They just all peel off, knowing that if Closer flashes in, they'll deal with him. But if he doesn't, let's look for the turn. The Baron health regens and the numbers advantage in their favor because Abbeddage fell earlier on. So this is the turn onto Ssumday. Doran marking him, Ruler joining him.
Yeah, if they turn around, lots of work being done. Ssumday down to 50% HP just by Doran. He ults in on him and they get the last little bits of damage. The only hope there for 100 Thieves was if Gen.G stayed on Baron, kept damaging it, and then hope for the flip.
Hope for the flip, but Gen.G don't give it to them. They have the Soul, they have the Baron, they have a very hefty gold lead, and now they'll start breaking into the base of 100 Thieves. They have to play defense mode because this bot tier 2 is getting under pressure. There's a TP top from Chovy, so maybe they actually play towards the top side of the map here. Doran, no TP either, so they're going to have to group up. Rabadon's complete 3 items strong on this Azir, level 17 with a stopwatch. 306 CS per minute, 306 CS at 28 minutes. Siege on mid. Huhi's looking for a very long flank.
Doran stepping in, won't overcommit. A lot of tension here. Should be an easy siege for Gen.G, but maybe 100 Thieves can find a way to attack this. Peanut taking a little bit of a poke. Ulti forced out. Ulting closer. Chovy already taking down 1 tower. 1 inhibitor going to fall. A second to follow. 100 Thieves running out of time to make a play. It's Huhi on the flank. Will it be enough? Chosen for the crowd still up. Closer missing completely. Doran now stepping forward. Ssumday, the ultimate coming out. The hostile takeover. FBI not hitting anybody with the ultimate. Chovy getting knocked back into it. Might be enough. They find it. Ssumday getting the reset on 1 at least. Chovy potentially in trouble, but Ssumday no. They just got nothing left. Ruler, one more power shot. Ruler is going to get taken down. Bailout should not be enough. But Gen.G looking for the close here. Ssumday. Too much pressure for one man to handle, but maybe, just maybe. Stepping up, Q1, nope, not enough. Gen.G, decisive in the last few exchanges, will take down 100 Thieves.
And the LCK champions bounce right back at the group stage. They pick up their win here versus 100 Thieves.
Yep.
To even it up 1-1.
Clean and decisive as well, just play through bot. Their turns on objectives were fantastic. Their calls on mid-waves with TPs behind, they were always aware as to where all the members of 100 Thieves was, and there was a couple of minutes where it was close, 100 Thieves on that bot side fight managed to turn it. There was a chance around mid that they had, but they engaged a little bit too scuffed and not really on the same page. Gen.G just getting the better hand, and then the Baron force from there onwards. It was all Gen.G.
The engages from Gen.G really good as well, coming in with these teleports, and the pillars from Peanut constantly forcing out